2025 Town of Mancos Board of Trustees public meeting open at 6:02, and will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Roll call, please.
Yes. Mayor Simpson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Martin Work.
Here.
Trustee David Hayden, sorry.
Here.
Trustee Daniel Hedrick.
Here.
Trustee Andrea Esparza.
Here.
Trustee Nick Manning.
Yep. Yep.
Trustee Corey George.
All right, thank you. We have a quorum, and so I would look for a motion and a second to approve the agenda for the evening.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a chorus of seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Our next item is audience business, and I'll read our little statement here. Senate Bill 24-131 prohibits firearms in public buildings, the exception of law enforcement. All people wishing to address the board shall do so from the podium provided, and all comments will be directed to the board. Public comments regarding items not on the agenda shall be limited to 5 minutes per person unless they're part of a formal presentation. Public comments regarding public hearing items on the agenda will be limited to 3 minutes per person at the time the item comes up on the agenda. Special presentations of items not on the agenda shall be limited to 5 minutes. The board will appoint a timekeeper. That'll be Mayor Pro Tem McWhorter. All people from the podium shall clearly and audibly state their name, physical address, and the town business topic they wish to speak about prior to starting their comments. No person shall be allowed to speak until recognized by the mayor, and requests of the board to accept written information shall be accepted at that time, although no action will be taken at the meeting. Written information accepted at the meeting shall be provided in the board packet for the next meeting if necessary. The one person who is on here is Mark Worth.
Good afternoon, trustees and honorable mayor. My name is Mark Worth. I live at 10750 Road 43 in Mancos. That's the location where your water is coming out of the river, put into a pipeline. As it crosses approximately half a mile of my property, it crosses 3 other landowners' property and goes into your water treatment facility, where your water is measured. I feel like it's important for me not to be redundant here. I've come up here and I've spent a lot of your time, a lot of your town administrative and town staff time talking to you about this. And I'm still a little baffled as to why we're not making any progress here. It's more than clear that the easement that was granted in 1960 is not being fulfilled by the town. You are not providing the second tap, and unlike the situation until the water collection remodel was done, you are no longer giving me the unused water of your water rights. Unlike the other 3 people who your pipeline crosses and who have an easement from you, I am not receiving an unlimited tap of raw water. Again, that is taken off before your water is measured. Now, I think it might be possible that the reason you don't want to discuss this with me is you think this is an administrative matter. I am confident that breaching an easement agreement or taking land without compensation is not an administrative issue. That's an issue before the trustees. We all stood up a moment ago and said the Pledge of Allegiance, which includes the line, justice for all. Right now, the town is using my land, my wife and I's land, rather, and we are getting no compensation. Now, your attorney might suggest that it's because we were unable to come to an agreement a few years back. But the town at that time, through the attorney, was unwilling to offer me even what the 3 other pipeline easements were getting, let alone meeting the agreement that had been created by the town trustees in 1960. I would really like to have a meeting with you to discuss this. Perhaps there is some reason why you think the town should use our land without compensation. Or perhaps you think that the compensation offered was fair, that I should get less than somebody who has a pipeline buried on their property and not be compensated whatsoever for the use of over 1 acre of land. I'd really like to talk to you about it because I feel like we're not making as much progress as we could in a short meeting. There may be questions I haven't answered here, or perhaps some misinformation you've received from your attorney makes you weigh what he told you against what I told you. The facts are real clear. You could have somebody from your water department tell you how many taps there are on that line. And if they look, they will find 3 taps. One on the Brophy property, one on which is the B&B ranches, one on Don's property there, the ranch now run by the Yeomans, and one on Roy's property, Roy Elder's property. There is not a second tap on the Brophy property, and I'd be happy to go out there and look at them with you. If there is a second tap, we can save a lot of time by somebody telling me where it is. I really feel like there's a miscommunication here, and I don't understand where it is. It seems totally unreasonable that you would.
That's your time. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address the board? You're the only other person in the room. You're on the agenda? Okay. All right. Okay. So moving on, Montezuma County, not here. Announcements?
I just have one, and that's to remind you all that Borough Fest is on June 21st. So you'll see some activity downtown. And then we're trying to schedule the open house for June 21st for the marshal's office, but I haven't heard from the majority. So as soon as I hear from the majority, I'll let you know if it works or if it doesn't work, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So if you haven't already emailed me about June 21st at 9 a.m. for an open house, if you could let me know if that works for the majority, then I'll know which way to go.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Nothing? All right. Then we will move along to our consent agenda items, which are approval of the minutes of May 14, 2025, and the Region 9 update. And I would entertain a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Moving on, we'll do our discussion and action items. And the first one is a public hearing on 198 and 200 East Frontage Road minor subdivision.
I'm gonna recuse myself just out of abundance of caution because Kira and I have a business relationship.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Daniel. Jason.
Good evening. First off, the applicant is here if you guys have questions.
Okay.
The applicant is proposing to consolidate their lots on 198 and 200 East Frontage Road. The plat does not create any land use nonconformities. The current use of the property is used by right in that zone, and safe built, and staff recommend approval. And I'll kind of leave it at that and see if you guys have any questions for us.
Okay.
Do you need to open the?
Oh, yeah. And I will open the public hearing at 6:12. And would you like to speak? Tell us what you're doing, anything like that? Okay.
Name and address?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Please.
It's Kira Gosney. I'm from 2096 State Highway 151 in Ignacio. I am the owner of Momentum Fitness here. And I hope this isn't too curled up, but. Oh, thank you. So,
Yeah.
let's see. If can you guys see this okay? Thank you. So these are the two lots. 200 East Frontage Road is the gym. 198 East Frontage Road is has been the Montezuma Mortgage Building where Hannah has been. So we'd like to combine the two of them. They're better suited to be one lot than two anyway. See how weird both buildings are built directly up to the property line. So the overall plan, the gym has been here for almost 10 years now. We're very lucky to have it be busy now. Over the past couple of years, it's gotten very busy. We would like to have more space, so of course to do that. Right now, the gym does use the backyard of this property. That's kind of initially why we bought it. It's there's a pickleball court and a turf area with gym equipment, and we just have a little door that steps out. But to be able to actually expand the building, of course, the lots would have to be combined. So we are just proposing to take this line away, and then we would be able to extend the building onto this lot. And I'll be seeing you guys again because we actually have a bunch of hopeful future plans that will, I think, really improve our entire neighborhood, both in the way it looks and also the function of it, specifically parking over there is kind of a disaster. We end up, the Montezuma Mortgage Building is so far forward that nobody can park in front of it. So we end up with P&D and the gym and this building all sharing this parking right here. So our overall plan is to actually pick up this building from a company that moves down the company, that moves houses, which is crazy to me, but they're going to lift it off its foundation and move it. And then we're going to expand the gym and its footprint, which will be awesome for a lot of reasons. We have a beautiful design for this gym expansion that I'll be applying for later, but it'll, with this part all gone, it'll open up parking all along this front part here. And the Montezuma Mortgage, can you guys picture the building, the Montezuma Mortgage building to over from P&D next to the gym? It's a fantastic building. It's been remodeled several times. It's very nice inside and out, but it very much looks like a home. It looks like a residential structure right in the middle of our highway business district. So this being moved, and also there's some stuff going on at the Remax building to make that into more of a business center that can bring a lot of activity and business into our neighborhood here. But having the Montezuma, the residential looking building moved will do a lot for our district in here to make it a little nicer.
Okay.
But right now it's simple, right now it's just removing that one line.
All right. Any questions of the applicant? Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
The baby comes to everything because your
She's so little, I'm going to break her. Yeah, exactly. Okay. It is now 6:17 and I'll close the public hearing. Jason, I do have a question for you. So the safe bill letter from Travis lists a bunch of things that need to be done still.
Oh.
And so do we need to amend the proposed motion so that we incorporate?
Those are all, the plat that you're looking at tonight has all of those signature lines added to it. So the final plat that you're reviewing, all of that's been addressed.
Okay, and they have a current title certificate,
Yeah,
higher resolution plat.
yes.
Okay,
Everything's been addressed in safe bills lists.
okay, all right, cool. Thank you for clarifying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right, I would entertain a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion to approve a 2-lot minor subdivision application submitted by Kira Gosney and Rayburn Gosney for property located at 198 and 200 East Frontage Road, Mancos, Colorado, 81328.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, questions, comments, concerns? All right. Will the clerk please call the vote?
Mayor Pro Tem Livermore,
Aye.
Trustee David,
Aye.
Trustee Andres is present.
Aye.
Trustee.
All right, motion passes. You let Daniel back in. Congratulations. Yeah.
The Mylar will now be produced
Yeah,
for statute.
yeah,
So we'll be reaching out to you on the planning commission chair.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is ordinance 788, series 2025, prohibition of flag lots.
So I'll start this, and then if we have any questions, Jason, if I can tag you. In January, we brought in a list of the 10 items that the staff thought should be at least brought to your attention for consideration. One of the items on that list was the prohibition of flag lots in the town. So it's been discussed a couple of times since then. At the May meeting, the planning commission recommended approval of the ordinance to prohibit the future development of flag lots. We do have a couple in town that are already complete. Those will not change. They will be considered legal non-conforming. They can still apply for building permit if they're vacant. But moving forward, no additional flag lots will be created. So that's what this ordinance does.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? All right. Public hearing. All right, thank you. All right, it is now 6:20 and I will open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this matter? Not seeing anyone, I will close it 15 seconds later. And I would entertain a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 788, series 2025, prohibiting the establishment of flag lot development in the town of Mancos and allowing existing flag lots to apply for a special exception from the law.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the vote?
Mayor Pro Tem Livermore,
Aye.
Trustee David.
Aye.
Trustee David.
Aye.
Trustee Daniel Smith. Oh my gosh. Andreas is present.
Aye.
Trustee McMandy.
Aye.
It's okay, it takes a while. I have Brent to help me. All right, And that motion passes. And the next item is, I believe, the CIP.
So, we've talked about this a couple of times. Basically, what I'm looking for tonight, and it can be done by consensus vote, doesn't need to be a roll call, is, does the board wish myself and the town attorney to move forward with a joint executive session with the city of Cortez on June 5th at 6:00 p.m. here at Town Hall, to discuss the future of the city's community relations. Cortez has requested that it be done in executive session. Passing that along.
Did we get the explanation, we didn't get any, no rationale for why, the legal basis for the executive session?
I think they're looking for potentially, I believe, advice or negotiation. So, and both of those by law can't be done in executive session. If a decision can't be made, so if you choose to do this via executive session, not only will I notice the executive session, the item after it will say possible action based on executive session, so you could come out of the executive session for negotiation for legal advice was potentially, I can't remember which one did.
Negotiation.
So, that, I do not know why they wanted an executive session, but that is the request.
So we don't have any sample motion language for their executive session?
No, not yet. I have advised their city manager that I was waiting for feedback from you all as to whether we agreed to an executive session, and then I'll reach out to him tomorrow. But right now, I don't have any. They provided no rationale, and a sample motion.
I'm just concerned that it seems to me like executive sessions were designed for internal deliberation, not necessarily two public bodies meeting together to negotiate something. So are we negotiating together with another entity? Are we negotiating with Cortez?
Yes.
So
We can't make a decision.
yeah, so I don't understand how we avoid, collaboration, building consensus, deliberation in a session like that.
Yeah,
Sorry, give it up.
Not typically what we see, but arguably can have an executive session for the purpose to negotiate and meet with Cortez to negotiate terms of the CIP, possible contract with them and other entities, and to reach a negotiating position with other entities as well as themselves. But like you said, it's not typically done usually for internal deliberation. So but this would be meeting with, like, bringing them into our executive session. We go through our procedures that we would typically do, announcements. And they would have to do the same, and they'd be bringing us into their executive session. And so that's kind of how that would work.
Is there any precedent?
Up to you guys if you want to do it. If the risk is if there was, for some reason, it was challenged and went to court, I guess there's always a risk that you don't disagree with this sort of thing. The remedy is it's made public, instructions made public, so there'd be a recording, and it would be made public. Just like every other executive session, it's just for discussion and not for action. The executive session to do actions you wanted to take outside of the executive session.
Any other questions, Daniel?
Do you think the big risk is just that it becomes public?
I think that's a big risk, yeah.
Is there, what
I
about?
don't know that it's a risk, I don't know what the risk is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like because the way that it was written, discuss collaboration and potential negotiation just didn't seem like the traditional executive session. That just seemed kind of out of the norm, and isn't that typically it when it's not explicit guidance or precedent on something like that. It's typically a more risky move. But if you're saying that only risk is just that it would be public, then maybe not necessarily a risk to the town. Is that
Yeah, I think, just, keep discussion, so along those lines, and, knowing that, that's the risk, but, yeah, just like any other executive session.
Yeah.
It's challenged for whatever reason, the recording is made public.
David, any questions?
Although I'd rather doing a public meeting, if it's the only way we can get them in a room right now, that's where I'm at. I'll do it. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, my instincts are they're inviting us into this for a reason. We just need to trust the process. And I do agree with you that a meeting is better than no meeting. I think we just have to manage the risk internally and expect that it will get revealed at some point and not be stupid. Anything else to say?
I like says this last point, let's just behave ourselves and let them just behave.
Yeah, I feel like us getting the meeting with them is a win.
Yeah.
And I think that it's okay to let them have a win, but I won't be there. I'll be up in Grand Junction teaching. And, so good luck. So Brent will, be the lead in the discussion for the town. And, I guess my only advice that I can offer is to just imagine that it is public and comport yourself the way we normally do in meetings. So, yeah.
Do we need a form for executive session? We do.
Yeah, because to go into,
Okay, still.
you would need to have a quorum to take action to go into an exec session.
It's gonna be a special meeting that we're gonna have agendaed, right?
It's a special meeting.
Yeah.
We will need one. It's not an emergency meeting.
Right.
So we don't need the 3/4 or 2/3. If the board approves this, then tomorrow David will reach out to their attorney to schedule this. And then ultimately it will be the board of trustees, the Cortez City Council, Cortez City Manager, myself, and I would like to invite the police chiefs and the marshal. So, and then we just have everyone in the room at the same time. Any negotiating can happen. And then we will move out of the executive session to take any action or discuss anything that wasn't appropriate in the executive session.
Okay. All right. So you just think the consensus or
I need a motion.
a motion, but it can be a group.
Consensus.
Okay.
I got it.
All right.
I'll make a motion to authorize the town administrator and town attorney to schedule a joint executive session on June 5th, 2025 at 6 p.m. at Minkus Town Hall to discuss collaboration of the community intervention program.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Minkus Main Street project update is up next.
Jason is here to answer any questions for you, but this is no action or anything needed, just keeping you posted on this project and where we are.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that I would add that we hadn't done yet when I submitted the staff report is we actually did have a steering committee meeting last Friday. Kind of on that note, we've done a lot of work with the interested stakeholders in May, and I feel like we've got a good core group of about 5 to 7, which is ideal to form a board. But right now, we're just talking about doing some strategic direction. And then once we get closer to submitting our application to become a Main Street community, that's when the formation of the board will actually happen, and that'll all be done at that point. So anyway, our next steps, I'm going to work with TJ a little bit on obtaining some commitments from the people that have summoned themselves in writing. Just why are you interested, and who are you, kind of simple things like that. And then we'll work with heirs on getting an in-person strategic planning session set up for late July, early August timeframe is what we're bouncing around. And in the meantime, we'll solicit some project ideas from the group that's assembled. They all seem eager to talk about wayfinding, but there's other things too. So anyway, that's what's coming up next throughout the summer.
Didn't it take us like 10 years to get the wayfinding signs we have now?
The historic Vegas signs?
Whichever.
The other signs that say, Park, those
Yeah.
are town signs, those are chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The historic Vegas signs did take a while. There was quite a lot of discussion about the color of the signs.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the overriding, there's two things going on. The group really wants to make sure that we have the best signage possible that directs people off the highway to the Main Street corridor, which is valid. And then there's a lot of discussion around community branding, which I think you guys have heard that discussion as well. So as things will progress organically, and we're looking forward to presenting a plan for you guys, and then making an application when we're ready.
All right. Any questions, Jason? Doesn't look like it. Thank you for the update, Rick. All right. Next item is the Resolution 7, Series 2025, appoint Heather Alvarez as acting town clerk and treasurer since Jamie left.
She is still doing some behind the scenes work for me. She is working completely remote, and will do so for the next couple of months to give us time to figure out how we want to proceed. Mercedes has also picked up some duties for us. So this is just a short-term solution, but we do actually have to have a board appoint a town board treasurer. So.
Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns? All right. I would entertain a motion and a second.
I make a motion to adopt Resolution 7, Series 2025, the resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Town of Mancos, Colorado, appointing Town Administrator Heather Alvarez to serve as acting town clerk and treasurer, in addition to her role as Town Administrator. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a couple of seconds. Roll call vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Beverly.
Aye.
Trustee Daly.
Aye.
Trustee Dennett.
Aye.
Trustee Anderson.
Aye.
Trustee McKay.
Aye.
All right. Resolution passes. Congratulations. Welcome to the town of Mancos. I've heard our books are in really good condition. Yeah. How was your job? All right.
There's a lot of titles now.
Right. She needs bigger business cards. Your business cards are 8.5 by 11. All right. Our next item is Resolution 8, Series 2025, financial authorization for Mayor Cindy Simpson, Mayor Pro Tem Brent McWhorter, Town Administrator, Town Clerk, Treasurer Heather Alvarez, and Marshal Justin Goodall to sign on Town of Mancos checking and operating accounts, and approving the Town Administrator, Town Clerk, Treasurer Heather Alvarez, and Marshal Justin Goodall to sign on all other Town of Mancos accounts.
We had to remove Jamie.
Yeah.
We are required to have 2 signatures. So the plan is to have checks ready every Wednesday. So the second, third, and fourth weeks of the month, I will do what I did today and bring those for signature so that nobody's inconvenienced or doing any extra work.
Mhm.
However, having someone in-house who can sign in the event of an emergency or if you're gone is necessary. So that's the reason for this.
Yeah.
And potentially the first week of the month, or the meeting's canceled or whatever. So it's basically just kind of a stopgap.
Okay.
And Justin has agreed to fill the role if needed.
Okay. Any questions of staff?
So I won't have a call from Justin chasing me around town trying to find me for signature? Oh, okay, cool.
And it was approved by the board tomorrow, and we'll go to the bank, so
Okay.
new signature card, but I believe only Justin will sign. I don't think we'll all need to sign. I don't know if any procedures, but if so, I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. I guess we would entertain a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 8, Series 2025, a resolution approving authorization for Mayor Cindy Simpson, Mayor Pro Tem Brent Whitberger, Town Administrator / Town Clerk / Treasurer Heather Alvarez, and Marshall Justin Goodall to sign on Town of Macon's checking / operating accounts and approving the Town Administrator / Town Clerk / Treasurer Heather Alvarez and Marshall Justin Goodall to sign on all other Town of Macon's accounts.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion in the second. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Brent Whitberger.
Aye.
Trustee David Reed.
Aye.
Trustee Daniel Knight.
Aye.
Trustee Grant Sparks.
Aye.
Trustee McManus.
It's awful when you get them blocked, right? All right, so that resolution passes. Items for June 11, 2025 meeting, which begins at 6. Just thank you for the reminders of our time changes. We will have a to be determined workshop topic. That will begin at 5:30 and run until 6 when our meeting starts. And then consent agenda will contain May 28, 2025 minutes, May bills and claims, and committee update reports. Annexation proposed changes. Is that proposed changes to the code or to an
Process.
To our process.
Okay, all right. And reappoint Shannon Hazlitt to the tree board. Anything else that we need to add that we know of right now?
Actually, Justin just had a very good idea. We could do it quickly. We could do a tour of the marshal's office since you're already going to be here rather than to have you come back. Fingers crossed it'll be done by then. Maybe less the evidence lockers, but would that be more convenient than having you all come for a special tour?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And that would be our workshop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we determined it. Excellent.
Remember what happened last time we did that?
Yeah.
No chasing us.
Just saying, maybe just keep the water off over there.
They're chasing us.
Yeah. All right. So we'll do that. Do you want us to meet here? Do you want us to meet at a certain door over there?
Front door.
Front door?
Of the marshal's office
Okay.
at 5:30 on June 11th, and I'll send a reminder to you all via email, or I'll send a calendar invite if that's easier.
Okay. Now, that'll get posted,
Yes.
and then if people want to, they can come right along with us. Okay. All right. All right. So moving along, the executive session for a conference with the town attorney for purposes of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS section 24-6-402, parens 4, parens B, is regarding trustee protocol liaison reports, and that information, oops, there it is. Where did we have that? There we go. All right. So I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
I make a motion to go into executive session for a conference with the town attorney for purposes of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS section 24-6402, parentheses 4, parentheses B, regarding trustee protocol liaison reports.
Any second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
Can I get the second motion?
Dan.